This question says that there's a circle with the center O, and its measure of angle AOB has a measurement of 5 pi over 4 radians. Okay, so before we actually continue into this question a little bit more, I want to make sure that you guys understand radians, because for me, being a non-math teacher, I didn't know what radians were until 2 years ago, because this new revised test is bringing up these kind of pre-calc-y conceptions. Those of you guys who are in pre-calc and those of you guys who are in physics know what radians are, but the rest of us, we don't really know what radians are, okay? So just to give you some background knowledge, when you measure a circle in degrees, what is the full amount of degrees? 360, okay? But there's also another way to measure a circle, not only in degrees, but in something called radians. And one whole circle would equal 2 pi. Okay, so you know that half a circle is what? 180, right, in degrees? So what would half a circle be in radians? Just pi. Okay, and everything from there is just sections of radians. And I do know this little trick. Anytime you're trying to change, let's say like we have 90 pi, okay, or 90 pi for radians, and we want to know what is that in degrees. What you do if you want to make it into degrees is you always try to cancel out the radians, okay? And how you do that is you always put 180 degrees up here and radian down here, so that these, because if you cross out the pi's, the radians cancel out, and now you're left with degrees, okay? So this would be 90 times 180. Okay, which doesn't work out mathematically, but you know, I don't know math, so I chose the number 90. But if you were to do something like, let's say 200 degrees, and you want to know what is that in radians, what do? You do the exact same thing. You want to cancel out degrees, and it's always out of 180 when you do this, okay? So we could cancel out the degrees, and you got the radian on top. So you know how we did this? It's just flipped. So please remember this rule right here, really focusing on whether you're going to put the 180 degrees on the top or the radian part on the bottom to cancel it out, vice versa. Okay, so with that said, let's continue on with this. It says the area of the sector formed by central angle AOB, this right here, is what fraction of the entire area. So we know that the entire area in a circle would be 2 pi, right? So you just go 5 pi over 4 out of 2 pi. It's kind of like me saying Uju had 1 slice out of the 8. How many slices does she eat? 1 out of 8. You get that? So this slice is going to be 5 pi over 4 radians over 2 pi. So we already talked about KFC this morning, and this is actually going to be equal to 5 pi 4, and we're going to keep this. We're going to change the sign, so that's division, so now we're going to do multiply, and we're going to flip the bottom, KFC. So that's going to be like this, okay? The pi's will cancel out, and you're going to get 5 over 8. As your answer.